The University of Iowa men's basketball team was founded in 1902 and have played their home games inside of Close Hall, the Iowa Armory, the Field House, and Carver Hawkeye Arena. The head coach of the team in 1902 was Ed Rule, and the team had 10 wins and 2 losses. It wasn't until 1923 that the Hawkeyes won their first Big Ten championship. Iowa then was suspended from the conference in 1929 for violating the conference's rules, but the team was reinstated a year later. During the Depression, the team went through a rough stretch until the 1943 season. From the 1943 season until the 1958 season, the men's basketball team only experienced 2 losing seasons and appeared in 2 NCAA Final Fours in 1955 and 1956. However, the team did not make a postseason appearance again until the 1969 season, where they made the Sweet 16 and won the Big Ten title. Then, in 1974, the team hired coach Lute Olson. It only took him a few seasons to turn the team around. From 1978 to 1982, the team made the postseason every year, including a trip to the Final Four in the 1979-1980 season. That season marked the last time the team made it to the Final Four. The 1979 season was a miraculous season for the Hawkeyes. Coached by Lute Olson, they got out to a fast start, going 10-0 in their first 10 games, led by star player Ronnie Lester, and were ranked number 10 in the country. They had some strong wins, including in-state rivals Northern Iowa and Iowa State, as well as a win on the road against number 20 Illinois. Then, in the 11th game of the season, Lester suffered a devastating knee injury that caused him to miss the next 15 games until he returned for the final game of the regular season. Without him, the Hawkeyes ended up going through a rough stretch, losing 4 of their next 5 games, only winning against Wisconsin by 1 point. After their loss to Michigan State, the Hawkeyes stood at a record of 11-4 after 15 games. In their last 12 games following that loss, the Hawkeyes finished the season 8-4 and ended with an overall record of 19-8. Some key wins in those games included number 12 Purdue, Northwestern, and Michigan State. With a 10-8 record in conference play, the Hawkeyes finished 4th in the Big Ten standings behind Indiana, Ohio State, and Purdue, and their record earned them the number 5 seed in the East region of the NCAA tournament. The Hawkeyes felt good heading into the tournament that year, with Ronnie Lester fully healed off the knee injury he suffered earlier in the season. With their high confidence, they easily defeated both Virginia Commonwealth University and North Carolina State University by double digits to advance to the Sweet 16. After those 2 games, the Hawkeyes faced their toughest test yet in the tournament against the number 1 seed of the East region, Syracuse. The Hawkeyes seemed to have little trouble against Syracuse, winning the game by 11 points. The Hawkeyes then faced off against Georgetown in the regional finals. This was a close game throughout, and Georgetown led by 1 point heading into the final 30 seconds. However, Steve Waite of the Hawkeyes drove the ball down the lane, and he made a layup in the final seconds to secure an 81-80 victory for the Hawkeyes, granting them a Final Four berth against Louisville. For the first part of the game, the Hawkeyes hung in tough against the higher seed Louisville, but then deja vu struck the Hawkeyes. Ronnie Lester once again suffered a knee injury, which ended up ending his career as a Hawkeye. Without Lester, the Hawkeyes knew what they had to do since he was injured for most of the regular season. This time, the team was unable to produce points with him sidelined, struggling mightily. Louisville dominated in the second half and eased their way to a 17-point victory, and they also won the national championship that year, defeating UCLA. After the loss to Louisville, the team played Purdue in the third-place game. This marked the 3rd time that these 2 teams matched up, each winning once before. With Lester unavailable to play, the Hawkeyes struggled once again to score any points. They only managed to put up 58 points in the game, losing 75-58. Even though the Hawkeyes lost, they still finished 4th place in the tournament and ended the season with an overall record of 23-10. This was the ending the team was not looking for, but it was still a magical season for the team all around. They reached a high ranking of number 10 in the AP poll, and only the top 20 teams were ranked. Then, after Lester went down with his injury, the team rallied together, winning many crucial conference games, and when he returned, the Hawkeyes believed in themselves to go far in the NCAA tournament. The tournament went well for the team, and they finished in 4th place. In the end, it was not the finish that the team desired, but it was still remarkable for a team that lost their star player twice during the season, along with a few other players being injured. To this day, this team was the last Iowa's men's basketball team to make the Final Four. They are one of the best teams the program has ever had.